Hey everyone, Matt Beamer here with Preston Lude from In the Marbles. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody on this very special episode. Preston, how's it going?
It's going.
Good, man. Well, happy Thanksgiving. We're recording the day before Thanksgiving, but when this episode comes out, it'll be Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there.
Yeah, and I hope everybody has a safe and happy one.
Yeah, me too.
Because, with 2020 the way it is, like, nobody wants to do anything. Nobody's going to grandma's house. Nobody's doing anything, it seems like.
Well, you have the what do you call those people? The rebels out there that are going to do it.
Yeah,
like me.
Well, yeah, but I got to work, and that's okay. Caroline's going to be going home to the family up there in
that's good.
Her neck of the woods, so
that's good.
She'll be doing that, and I'll be just at work for actually 2 days. So.
Oh, you're working 48, huh?
Yeah, but I get leftovers. So I'm happy about that. But what do you got going on for Thanksgiving?
Going to a couple different families. Yeah, my parents. Well, we'll eat at my grandparents' house, which they live next door to them now. So
yeah,
and then probably going to the in-laws later in the afternoon. So two different houses, maybe even my other grandparents' house, maybe three. Who knows?
Yeah, why not, man?
Maybe I'll just go and collect all the food.
Yeah.
And just have leftovers for a few days. This is my favorite time of the year. Well, one of my favorite times of the year, because leftovers, you can't beat leftovers from Thanksgiving.
You really can't, and I love it. I'm going to deep fry a turkey. I actually heard a rumor that somebody wanted to make lasagna. It's like, what? You can't make a lasagna for a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, that's like against the rules.
So pretty much what I did, I went to the store today and got a whole bunch of stuff. I got the green bean casserole stuff. I got the cranberry in the shape of a can. I got mac and cheese, and I got the turkey and the rolls. So I'm going to bring everything there. And it's like, this is what we're doing.
Like it or not.
Like it or not. You're going to have a Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving. I don't care. This is going to happen. So doing that. And can't wait. It's going to be a lot of work, but then, hey, man.
Well, I'm sure somebody will help. It's only just going to be 4 of you guys. Yeah,
it is. And so it's a lot of food for 4 people, but that's why I bought extra Tupperware, too.
Ooh, so everybody can go home with some.
No, so I can go home because Caroline's not coming home till Sunday, so I gotta eat somehow, one way or another.
Okay, I got you.
But that's awesome, man. But before we get started, I wanted to talk to you. I was working the other day, and a couple of guys were listening to our podcast
at the station.
Yeah, at the station.
Oh, okay.
And they said, "Hey, how's your podcast going?" I'm explaining, how you're doing and what you're doing and everything like that. And he turned it on and he said, "Well, you're not talking about racing." It's like, well, at the start of the show, we talk about, what's going on in our lives and hope that people, kind of get to know us a little more. It's like these guys' lives don't just revolve around racing. They revolve around, family and friends and, work,
Right.
We're just 2 normal dudes that have a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, yeah, we're 5-10 minutes in and I haven't heard one thing about racing.
That's because you got to listen to the other 50 minutes.
Yeah, you got to listen to the rest of the episode because it's chock full of information, and people just come in for the first 5 minutes and hear what we're talking about. You're not talking. Well, yeah, it's boring. You can't just do that.
Obviously, they didn't give it a chance.
And I said, why don't you make your own podcast and tell me how you fill time?
Ooh.
And he said, well, I don't want to. And it's like, well, then don't critique my work, dude.
Dang, man. Haters.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bunch of haters.
Oh,
man. Hey, man.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
We'll pull it in there. But, man, I'm so glad everything's going well for you. Hope everything's going well out there for In the Marbles Nation. We had a few planned things going on today, but had a driver coming on, Kyle Summers. He was in episode 24. Couldn't make it. Keep his family in his prayers. They're going through a little bit of a family emergency right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully have him on here in the next couple weeks. Next week's we're going to have a very special episode. And the following week, we're going to have a very special episode. So stay tuned for details on that. We can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm excited about these.
And that's about it, man. We were going to have also Steven here. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He's going to be our IndyCar guy.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't make it for personal reasons. And keep him in your thoughts and prayers as well. Hopefully we can have a trifecta here. The whole point of that is to have a trifecta, a good flow. But
I think we should have. I told when we had Charlie on, and it should be like a whole round table at some point.
Yeah, it makes it, I think, more interesting. The dynamic flows more. But that's neither here or there. It's just you and me, man. Like always here and in the marbles. And
just the two of us.
That's right. Copyright infringements. Be careful. But man, we're gonna go ahead and get into the news of auto racing. We got quite a bit to cover today.
Yeah, there's a decent amount out there to talk about.
So we're gonna go ahead and hit into the news of auto racing and see what we got. All right, Preston, first piece of news.
So there's a couple different things. So what I want to lead off with is we probably should keep some people in the NASCAR family in our thoughts and prayers. Morgan Shepherd, one of them, he has diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, early on stages of Parkinson's disease, and that's it's scary and tragic. I mean, he's definitely getting up there in age. I can't remember exactly how old he is, but I mean, it'd be weird to not have Morgan Shepherd around, I guess you could say. He's been around the sport for quite some time.
Yeah, Parkinson's is a terrible disease right up there with Alzheimer's and dementia. It's not a fun disease, and we will definitely keep him in our thoughts and prayers as he battles that.
Yeah, and he plans to still come back next season, but he's not going to race. He's still in that whole ownership or whatever. So he's just going to make sure everything's still running and everything like that.
That's good.
Another one, Ken Squire, did not know that Ken Squire was in the hospital either.
Yeah, Ken Squire has COVID, I believe.
Yes, and he's getting, as far as Dave Moody tweeted on Twitter, it seems like he has pretty much beat it. So I think he's on the downhill, which is a good thing, which is great. So that was a pretty scary thing to hear about Ken Squire. And then another one, Hendrick Motorsports. It came out, I mean, probably just before we started this show. William, I think his name is Harold. Let me just double check real quick because I wanted to make sure. And it is Rowdy Harrell. Rowdy Harrell. It's a really tragic thing. So him and his wife were killed in an automobile accident over the last weekend, on the way to their honeymoon.
And
in Florida.
That is very sad.
Yeah, he was a tire carrier for the number 88 crew for the last, I think it was 8 seasons.
Wow.
So it's that's really tough right there.
If anything, that goes to show you, be thankful for what you have. Don't take life for granted.
Yeah.
And, just be thankful for what you guys have out there. It's Thanksgiving. It's the time to be thankful. That's really unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. So other big news, though, the biggest one of the week, John Hunter Nemechek.
John Hunter Nemechek, yes, that is some talk of the town right now.
Yeah, going to Kyle Busch Motorsports, which in an interview with Bob Pockrass, I believe it was, he kind of explained the reasoning behind it, and I had my own reasoning at first, and my reasoning was maybe he's going to better equipment to kind of reset it and show what he can do in better equipment, but apparently he's had kind of a relationship with Toyota for a few years now or so. So maybe this is an entryway to Joe Gibbs. Maybe, possibly.
Maybe. I mean, well, John Hunter Nemechek didn't run horrible this season in the Cup Series. He was running a C team, was up there a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But I think the equipment was just not there to match his skill level. Now, he's going to take a few steps back down to the Truck Series, a full-time ride in the Truck Series with a Kyle Busch Motorsports equipment, which is great. I mean, that's a solid team right there. Can't wait to see what he does. It's going to be interesting.
He explained to Bob Pockrass that what he wanted to do was he wanted us to win, and he knows that if he goes to KBM, he can win, and he can show everybody that he can win.
Right.
And he's hoping that maybe he can, he says he's still been in contact with Toyota, everybody, the partners at Toyota for the past couple of years. So maybe this is kind of, I wouldn't say a complete reset, but maybe he's just kind of want to go back stepping a little bit and see what he can do with his options from there. I think proving himself and winning, starting from the bottom, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a good segue into Toyota and maybe Joe Gibbs Racing here down the line, because we talked about it last week. Denny Hamlin isn't going to stick around enough, or not enough, but too much longer, I feel.
Right.
But then Daniel Hemrick's right there in the chamber to go to the 11 car. I feel maybe down the road with him going to...
What about Martin Truex Jr.?
That's a good one, too.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too. That's a good point. Martin Truex Jr., I mean, he's been in the sport quite a while as well.
Yeah.
Probably just about as long as Denny Hamlin. But, yeah, that's a very outstanding point, man. That's good stuff. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can't... let's just say...
Speculation.
Just can't wait to see. It's all speculation right
It's
now.
all speculation.
In the Marvel speculation.
Disclaimers.
That's right.
We might have to put some of those at the start of every episode. We're just going to disclaimer, just throwing it out there. We're just a couple of guys that don't know a whole lot. We're just going to speculate.
That's right.
So, another one, Ryan Truex landing a full-time ride with Nice Motorsports next season in the Truck Series.
That's big as well because, I think he's living in his brother's shadow here.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, but at the same time, you can't really. I think he has talent, but not a lot of doors have opened up for him like they have for Truex.
Mm-hmm.
Truex went right into Second Chance Motorsports with Dale Earnhardt Jr. right when he came in. He made the right connections, and now following in his wake is his brother. It'll be interesting to see, but my hopes aren't that high.
Yeah.
My expectations are about mediocre, but if he surprises me, he surprises me. But I'm not going to expect Ryan Truex to really just blow me out of the water or blow the competition out of the water, let's just say.
Yeah, no, not at all. So a couple more. So just a couple more, I guess, team announcements, I guess we could say. Raphael Lessard is going to GMS Racing for 2021 as well.
Okay.
So that's good. And then I talked to you about it before the show, and I don't think we talked about it last week. BJ McLeod and Matt Tifft are partnering up, and they're going to be the 78 car is the number that I was thinking of. The 78 car is the ride that they're going to be fielding for the Cup Series next year, and BJ McLeod is going to be driving, and it's called Live Fast Motorsports.
Okay.
Interesting name.
Live Fast Motorsports.
Yes, Live Fast Motorsports.
Driven by BJ McLeod, who does not drive fast in the Cup Series.
Oh, yikes.
Let's just call a spade here. I mean, BJ McLeod, God bless him, he tries, but I don't know. It's tough to get in there. You have to be, it takes years to establish yourself.
Yeah.
And he might be that up-and-comer team. It might live up to that name, but I'm not. I mean, after 2-3 seasons of watching BJ McLeod just be a back marker.
I mean, maybe I could get behind him. I mean, I got behind Front Row Motorsports as well. I'm sporting. Well, this is an older shirt because this got Landon Castle.
That is
on
a vintage.
This is vintage right here.
That you should wear at Darlington next year.
Yeah.
For the throwback weekend, not the spring race.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Speaking of that, did you get your tickets for Darlington?
No, I have not yet.
Oh, buddy, better jump on that.
Now you're scaring me.
I'm just saying.
Oh, we don't know if they're going to be doing limited capacity, are they?
No, I feel like by the time Daytona starts, it's going to be fine. I'm hearing rumors that Daytona is going to be at 25% capacity. I'm not worried about that because I renewed my tickets.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, but we'll see, man. I hope not. I hope it's a packed house there. Daytona deserves to be packed.
Yeah. I mean, it's all outdoors anyways.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't know. I mean, I can understand why limited capacity for indoor sports, but I mean, we'll be outside.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It is what it is. It's 2020.
Hopefully we get to the end of it.
Almost a month left. We can do it, people.
We can get there. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're almost done with 2020.
Yes,
but any other news, man? I mean, that was just during the off season. News it's tough to come by.
Yeah, it's very tough to come by. I mean, it's just not a whole lot. I mean, also they did some more testing with the next gen car as well over the last week. So not really a whole lot of good reviews on that as far as testing on oval.
Well, what's good about that is they got one more year to fix it. If it was coming out in 2021 like they originally planned, I'd be a little more worried.
Right.
But now they got another year to work on it, to change a few things. I saw them talking with Martin Truex Jr. and Kurt Busch about that, and it was a mixed bag of stuff. It's like, hey, this is good. This is not. Based on the in-car camera, it looked like it was decent runs, but throw 38 other cars in there. I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
But at least NASCAR has another year. They got a mulligan on this. Make it right. That's all I'm going to say. Make it right, NASCAR.
I'm afraid that that's asking for a lot.
No, that's not asking for a lot. I mean, NASCAR's put a lot of time and money into the development of the Generation 7 car. I think they rushed a car tomorrow and it came out crummy. You get into the Gen 6 car, which is decent, but everybody likes those old-looking, like, Gen 5 cars.
From, like, the 2000s?
The early 2000s.
Yeah, those, I think I'd sing, for me, yes, absolutely. Yeah. I used to love those days.
Make race cars again.
Yes.
Instead of just prefabricated, throw it out there. Charlie made up a good point when we talked to him a couple episodes ago. Bring back the body guys and have them mold the cars, but I think we're way past that. It's all about money saving now. It isn't about safety now. It's about money saving. And ultimately, NASCAR gets what they pay for.
Mm-hmm.
So put a decent amount in there. Maybe you'll get something good out.
Right.
Here's hoping.
Fingers
hoping.
Crossed?
Yeah, tightly. Very tightly. But, man, with the offseason here, that's about the only news we have. A few drivers changes here and there, big driver and team announcements.
Yeah.
But that's about it, man. Mm-hmm. We're getting ready to go into, 3 races to go in Formula One?
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and shift gears here into our weekend preview, not even review, weekend preview for the Formula One Bahrainian Grand Prix. After an ad read or two here, and if you're listening to us on the Unhinged Sports Network, a few ad reads from other shows. This is In the Marbles, and we'll be back with your weekend preview for the Bahrainian Formula One Grand Prix.